wait to get on the road again.
Now, on the road with Heidi and Josh, brought to you in part by the Illinois Office of Tourism and Illinois South Tourism, and powered by Ameren, Illinois.
And I can't wait to get on the road again.
On the Big 550 KTRS.
We had so much fun on Friday being out of the studio and broadcasting live from Belleville and Art on the Square, but there's so much more to discover in the Illinois South Tourism area. Of course, Andy Waterman always joins us on Tuesday. Andy, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I am fantastic, and I got to tell you that the Shawnee National Forest has been on my list for a long time. I don't know why. I have no excuse for not getting there, but I'm so happy to have Steve Melville, who is the owner of Rimrock's Dogwood Cabins, joining us to tell us more. I was looking at these crazy cabins, and I mean, each one is perfectly spaced on a 77 acres, 2 miles of private trails. I mean, so many trees, and then full kitchens. You don't really have to get away from everything if you don't want to. You even have HD satellite TV. So tell me the idea behind Rimrock's Dogwood Cabin, Steve.
Well, it's just a great place to get away to. You know, it's great hiking, super quiet, peaceful. Just a great place to get away to. And like you, I didn't know it was down here.
So let's talk a little bit about Shawnee National Forest. How many acres are we talking about, and what kind of things will we discover? Waterfalls and kayaking, and what is all waiting for us?
Yeah, it's like about 288,000 acres. It's a lot of waterfalls, a lot of hiking, lakes, creeks, and a lot of peace and quiet.
Yeah, peace and quiet. Isn't that what a lot of us want? I know that there is an interesting event coming up Tuesday, May 31st. Tell me about that.
Well, we're doing some trash blasts to help clean up the forest.
And so is that simply walking through and grabbing stuff? Do we need to have any training, or anybody and everybody can come and help?
Yeah, anybody, everybody, just walking the trails, walking through the woods, the parking lots, all that kind of stuff.
I think sometimes we take for granted how beautiful all of these areas are, but there is work to be done.
Oh, yeah, a lot of work, a lot of trail maintenance, keeping the water off the trail. Trees that are down need to be cut up.
Yeah, and I know that there's also some invasive autumn olive trees along the drive to Garden of the Gods, and I always want to know about Garden of the Gods. How do you describe that?
Well, it's just amazing. It's the main draw of the area. The observation trail is a very short hike, but it's just super breathtaking. But there's other trails there and other trails in the area. It's just a great site and a super easy hike for anybody of any ability.
And there at your Rimrock's Dogwood Cabins, how many people can sleep in one cabin?
Oh, they range in sizes from 4 to 9.
So you can bring the whole family out and have a family reunion.
Yeah, and bring the dog.
Yeah, that's really nice as well. Andy, I was just reading that Garden of the Gods was listed as one of the 10 great places to photograph in USA Today. What sticks out when I say Garden of the Gods for you?
For me, one of the things that sticks, there's a picture that we were sent from somebody who does professional photographs all around the Shawnee National Forest, from the Cache River wetlands to Rimrock to Garden of the Gods. And the one that sticks out to me is there's this one at sunset. And if you are fortunate enough to be up there at sunset, it is one of literally the most gorgeous, breathtaking, amazing things that you'll see. It's a bucket list type of thing that you'll see in your life. If you are at Garden of the Gods for sunset, you can mark that off your bucket list because it is awesome.
Well, Andy, help me out here, because I've driven from St. Louis to Chicago before, so I know that Illinois is flat. So where did this thing come from?
So once you get south of 64, say you're driving on 57 south, so you get south of 64, then things start to get a little more rocky, a little more, as you would say, some more bluffs and everything. So yes, once you get into, or as Southern Illinois is also called, Little Egypt, it can definitely get a little less flat and more, as you would say, picturesque.
Why is it called Little Egypt?
There are different kind of legends around it, but as you know, Southern Illinois University at Carbondale, they are the Salukis,
right?
which is an Egyptian hunting dog. So I think anything kind of south of in Southern Illinois, from kind of like the Centralia is still considered, and Salem, I think anything around there and south is considered Little Egypt. And there are different legends around it. I'm not going to get into. I can't really get in speak to all of them because I'm not really a pro on all that. But yeah, definitely something to Google. I'm sure if I know Josh, I've been in the studio enough with him. He's probably Googling it as I speak.
I am.
You know him well. By the way, somebody on our Woods Basement Systems text line, my wife and stayed at Rim Rocks a few times before new owners took over. It is absolutely beautiful area, and the cabins are perfect. Southern Illinois is definitely God's country. Beautiful. The other thing that I was reading, equestrian trails. Are there places that you can hop on a horse? You don't have to bring your own, I assume.
Correct. Yeah, there's a couple different places. Lake Glendale Stables, Bear Branch. But yeah, it's a great place for horseback riding, known nationally for it.
Really? And then there's rock climbing, and you can zip line with Shawnee Bluffs Canopy Tours. I mean, really, there is something for everybody. If you want to be adventurous and canoe or kayak, there are plenty of lakes and creeks. Tell me more about Cache River Wetlands.
Oh, that's a great area. It's an old swamp area. It's got like 1,000-year-old cypress trees. They got like a 2-mile canoe trail. But it's a great place to visit.
Well, and I got to ask, are there plenty of campgrounds around? I know that, you have Rim Rocks Dogwood Cabins, but I'm betting those are going to be booked after we finish this interview. Are there other places to stay as well?
Yeah, there's lots of campgrounds around and dispersed camping. There's lots of options.
Yeah. Well, it really is a beautiful place. And if people want to help out and clean up a little bit, do they just show up?
Yeah, they can. We usually do events on Facebook, ShawneeFriends.org, and where you can see a list of our upcoming events and get involved.
All right. Well, Steve Melville, owner of Rim Rocks Dogwood Cabins, thank you so much for joining us. Andy, before we let you go, you got to tell us about a great spot for food if we're in Shawnee National Forest. What's a place that we definitely have to pull off and check out?
That it's such a wide territory. I can't name just one.
Okay, you can name a couple.
Say you're into pizza. There's a joint that's actually in southern White County, and I've talked about it before several months ago when we did something on Shawnee National Forest. It is Mimo's, and they have really great pizza, and they have a pizza challenge. It's a 20-inch pizza challenge, so if you're hungry all the time like Josh is, then you can try this 20-inch pizza challenge. It is, like I said, in North City, not too far north of Rim Rock in White County. And then another place that I would recommend, if you're a burger fan like I am, love burgers, go to Ned's Shed in Vienna. Great burgers there.
I love the name.
Ned's Shed.
Yeah. Well, of course, to learn more, and, we're talking Friends of the Shawnee National Forest and enjoying the forest responsibly, you can go to ShawneeFriends.org. Don't forget, if you want to go somewhere to stay, just get out, be adventurous, or just be in the peace and quiet. Rim Rocks Dogwood Cabins, and that's RimRocksDogwoodCabins.com. There's also a Facebook page, and of course, you can always learn more at IllinoisSouth.org. Andy and Steve, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Yeah, and Andy, 20-inch pizza. That's doable.
Yes.
That could be done.
I'm afraid I could do it too, which is a problem.